It's Laura from Laura Walmwell Photography, and today I am so excited to be joined by Mackenzie Drinkwater. Mackenzie is the owner of Little Deer's Apparel and one of the founders of Dog Friendly KW. Hi, Mackenzie. I'm so excited to have you here.
Hi, Laura. I'm also very excited to be here. There's nothing more I love than talking about dogs.
Excellent. Well, let's jump into the good stuff right away then. So,
Perfect.
you have two incredible dogs who live with you. What can you tell me about these wonderful ladies?
I I'm a little biased, but I also think they're wonderful. So I have Miss Willa and Aladar. I'll grab Aladar for us to see. She's just hanging out right here. So these little girls are Italian Greyhounds. They are essentially a greyhound in miniature, and they are just the sweetest dogs in my opinion on the planet. They're very calm dogs. They're very how do I say it? They're high maintenance, but they're low maintenance. They're high maintenance in the sense that the clothing is a necessity. Not only does it look cute, it is a need because are they chill easy. But they're also they're low maintenance in the sense that they're pretty lazy dogs. Like they just kind of laze around all day. And I never really realized it until I started working from home. I'm like, wow, I really need to wake these dogs up in the morning. But yes, Will and Alidar are sisters. They're only about 9 months apart in age. They have the same dad, and I just love them to bits. I do as much stuff as possible with my dogs. That's kind of the reason I wanted a dog. I wanted to be able to do things with my dog, and that's where yeah, that's where the journey began on the dog sports we were doing and the dog shows we did and things like that. And it's been just a very rewarding. I just love these guys. They're so great.
Wow, so you mentioned that you're involved in dog sports. Who is competing and what are they competing in?
So we have Aladar here. She used to do when dog shows were a thing because now COVID. Mm. But Aladar was a show dog, so she did confirmation, and she actually in 2019 she was the number 3 Italian Greyhound in the country. So she did really really good. Yeah, she we had a lot of fun. We traveled all around. Well, not all around, but we went all over Ontario. We went out to PEI, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick. She also got her American championship. So we used to travel all over with these guys. That's where like a lot of my travel experience with dogs comes in. Because yeah, we've taken literally planes, trains, automobiles, stayed in hotels everywhere, places I didn't even know existed. And that was really fun. Willa did do dog shows at the beginning, but Willa is more of a as you can see, Aladar, she just kind of chills. She's very laid back. Willa is more of my fun dog. She's a more dog like. So she loves running. She loves anything to do with me. She loves any sort of training. So what we decided to do was when she was a puppy, she was about 11 or 12 months old, I started her in dog agility. And I did that because first of all, I thought it looked amazingly fun, and I was like, I want that. Like I want that connection with my dog. I want to be able to do all those tricks and stuff. So we started there. And then we took a little hiatus while Aladar was doing her dog show stuff, and then we just recently got back into it last year. And Willa is just absolutely loves it. It's just something that her and I do together, and she just every time we turn into the parking lot of where we practice agility, she's just going crazy. So it's her favorite thing. Another thing we got into was the sprinter. So the Canadian Kennel Club puts on a sprinter, and it's 100 meter dash. And it's essentially how fast can your dog run. And that was really fun to do because they're sight hounds. They were born to run. And just to see their little legs like fly to see, and people were like, wow, those dogs are so fast. It was just so rewarding just to do stuff, and that's what they were bred to do. So those are a couple of the dog sports that we've been heavily involved in, and they honestly like just blossomed organically. Like I started, I loved it. The dogs loved it. Of course, I wouldn't do it if they didn't. And then it would just like kind of organically grew from there. And now, yeah, we're practicing agility a couple times a week, and we're doing, stuff at home. It's kind of crummy out, so we're doing a lot of like trick training and stuff inside. Um, but yeah, when the weather gets nice, we'll be out and doing some more lure coursing and stuff like that. So that'll be a really fun new activity that the dogs can try.
Amazing. So when traveling is a thing again, do you see yourself going back on the road competing? And how is it traveling with your dogs?
So yes, Aladar, I may enter in a few small dog shows just for fun, just because I only have two dogs and I have friends that I can show their dogs, so it's just so much more fun when it's your own. um, but hopefully, fingers crossed, if we practice enough in the summer, maybe we can do some more like agility type competitions. So we're hoping to enter some trials, and we'll be and traveling will be involved for that. So we will be, traveling throughout Ontario, looking for different trials to enter, which will be really really fun. That'll put us right back on our little yeah, dog traveling adventures. um it was so funny. Obviously not last summer, but the summer before, pre-COVID, every weekend everybody would say, "Oh, Mackenzie, what are you doing this weekend?" I'd be like, "Oh, dog show, dog thing, dog show," and I was like, "Oh, okay." But now it's like I've kind of broken that habit because it's been so long. But yeah, I can't wait to be able to like just travel and do more dog stuff when the weather gets a bit nicer and when restrictions hopefully loosen up a little bit. So
Did you find it challenging to, like when you would travel at a distance, find accommodations that were okay with pets being there?
Um, it depends. We've always been really lucky, and I think it's partially because we have small dogs.
Mhm.
So a lot of places, like hotels, I'm thinking of in particular, they will say, "Oh, you must have, two dogs under 60 pounds each or something." They'll have like a really strange restriction on the size of dog that you can bring. And then they'll say like a pet fee is $40 a dog, or $80 for you can have as many dogs as you want. And for me, I got very, very good at like finding what hotels had the best of the restrictions, I should say. But my favorite thing to do is to find Airbnbs. So Airbnbs are honestly the best because not only are they different, a lot of them you can find with like a fenced in backyard. A lot of them won't have a limit or even a pet fee associated. So a lot of the times we'll try and find an Airbnb. If that's not possible, my like go-tos are like Delta or like a lot of Holiday Inns are dog friendly, things like that. So you can just make sure that you just read the fine print. I use a lot of booking websites like Hotwire or Booking.com, and you just filter for the dog or pet friendly, and just read the fine print, or else you'll be paying a heck of a lot for a dog to come stay with you, because some of them it's ridiculous. It's like these dogs are cleaner than most people. What are they gonna do? Anyway, so yeah, I found a sweet spot for finding spots to stay, but I highly recommend Airbnb to anyone who's looking at traveling with a dog.
That's excellent advice. I think there will be more and more people, who have new pets through the pandemic, looking for options where they can bring all of the members of the family. So that's fantastic to know.
And that's honestly like, yeah, if I'm going away somewhere, I want to bring my dogs, like I love experiencing new things with the dogs. And yeah, so that's great. I really hope, yeah, the more dogs out and about, the better.
So speaking of things that your dogs have encouraged you to get into, Willa and Aladar are always fantastically dressed. And from what I understand, that kind of sparked a passion in you.
Yeah, so it was funny. So I've ever since they were little, so Willa's almost 5 and Aladar's 4, I've had to dress them. Kind of comes with the breed. And I've always been also like pretty like crafty and artsy. Like I went to art school and stuff. So um it's funny during the first quarantine, I started to sew, and I did it just as like a creative outlet. Like I just wanted, to keep busy, and you're locked in your house and might as well pick up a hobby. So I started, and yeah, I made my first garment, and I was like, oh my goodness, this actually looks really good. I was like so shocked with myself. And I took a few photos and I posted it on like my dog's Instagram, the Little Deers account. And I had so many people being like, "Oh my gosh, where'd you get that? Where'd you get that? I love that." Blah blah blah. And I never really thought about it. I was just like, "Oh, I made it. Oh, I made it." And then as time went on, I kept making more and more things. I just kept getting that same question, and then I was just like, you know what? I love this. Like people like what I'm making, and I get so much joy seeing the items I make on other dogs. Like might as well just like I was a little nervous, but I was like, you know what, might as well just like make a little side hustle and just do it. So a couple of weeks ago, it's only been yeah, about 2 weeks, I started an Instagram. So that was Little Deers Apparel. And I said to myself, because I have a full-time job, I'm like, I just would love this to be my little side gig. I love sewing in my free time. I just I I will do everything just over Instagram, word of mouth, slash what is our like my current following on Little Deers, and we'll see how that goes. And it's been awesome. Like I actually had to like cut off orders because I got too many, and I was just like, oh my goodness, like I can't keep up. So I actually had to like cut off orders, and I was worried that like like you're brand new and you're like, oh, I wonder if anyone's going to actually buy these. And yeah, people, I've had such a wonderful response to what I've done that I want to do it all the time.
Excellent.
So yeah, it's been awesome. Yeah, I never thought that I would be, sewing as much as I am, but I absolutely love it. And my Willa and Aladar get to be my little models.
Nice. I think I actually have a bunch of photos that we can take a look at here of some of your creations. So let me pull these up here. So
Yeah,
now, was this one of the earlier garments? Is this a more recent garment?
that was the third item I ever made.
Wow.
So third and fourth, technically, I guess, because I made two. But I hand sewed most of those because I didn't know how to use a sewing machine.
Wow.
So this is so funny and embarrassing at the same time. But over the Christmas break, I was at my mom's. She lives alone, and we quarantined, and then we went and visited my mom. And the whole time, she just taught me how to sew because she's very proficient with a sewing machine. And so the whole time, I just sewed. And yeah, so these two items were actually hand sewed by me. All the other ones I create now are done on a machine, which is much more time efficient. But those were literally like the second and third or third and fourth items I made, and they didn't fall apart, so that's a win.
Awesome. I guess it must have been good practice having to do everything twice.
Exactly. No, it really funny it was. Yes.
So I have a Chihuahua. So I know that there are tons of places where you can get pet apparel. There's lots of, mass produced stuff you can get on Amazon. What do you think sets apart Little Deer's apparel?
Well, first of all, it is handmade by a real human. Like I hand make, I hand cut, I piece together every item. I do also take your dog's measurements. So, for example, when I first started out, I started out just doing Italian Greyhound wear, and then I had a couple people reached out with I have a toy poodle, and I had actually like a lab reach out. I had a bulldog reach out, and they're just like, "Hey, can you please make us something?" And I was just like, "You know what? I'll try."
Wow,
And
so
so,
so even big dogs too.
I just started last week. So yeah, I tried to keep it niche in the Italian Greyhound wear, but the Kitchener Waterloo folks have just they've been so wonderful and so excited for what I've been making that I'm like, I cannot not make these dogs something. Like I have to. So but what sets me apart is I think my choice in fabrics. So I do choose a lot of like really nice designs in my opinion. I really like them. I think they're a little bit different, not your like average fabric. And again, yeah, I hand make and make sure that it will fit your particular dog to the best of what I can produce for you. And everything I've made so far has fit each pup perfectly, and I'm so thrilled. I've had orders go out to the Netherlands, to Michigan, to where's the last one? Montreal. There's like they're starting to like spread out. Oh, Norway. I had an order from Norway, which is so cool. So anyway, it's just it's really neat to see people get excited about the things I'm creating, and I just yeah, I love making them. So
Fabulous. Well, they are gorgeous.
thank you.
Speaking speaking of your fabric choices, I know Miss Willa is wearing sort of one of your new ideas with
Yes. Here,
apparel.
Willock. Come here, baby. Come. You want a treat? She's like, oh no. Here, give me 1 second. She's like, I know you don't have treats anymore. Yes. So I started a little mini project, which is upcycling human clothes into dog clothes. So this is a shark. It's the coolest sweater. It was like a men's sweater that I had lying around, and it was literally just collecting dust. And I was like, you know what, the sweater's too good to just like throw out. I need to make something. So I made Willa this little hoodie, which is super cute. And yeah, it has our little shark on the back, which is very, very cute. And I'm hoping to expand that, because if the clothing is already there, then might as well utilize it, which I think is will be really neat. And it'll also offer more like one of a kind items as well, which would be really cool. I think, having just like one offs or two offs of a certain thing would be quite interesting. So yeah, we're practicing, aren't we?
I am completely obsessed with that hoodie. And I think it's such a timely idea too, because there's so much textile that goes into landfill that why not turn it into something gorgeous that someone will love?
Exactly. Tell me about it. We're moving next month, and I even just going through my own clothes. I'm like, oh my goodness, like I'm going to use that for dog clothes. I'm going to use that for dog clothes. So just because you get so much stuff, right? And yeah, exactly. Might as well repurpose it if it's there, rather than yeah, exactly like you said, rather than adding more stuff into a landfill. So
Wonderful. So, in addition to Little Deer's apparel and traveling with your dogs and competing in agility and going to dog shows, you also have another venture.
yes. Yeah. Um, the last one is a joint venture, though, so I'm not fully alone. So my best friend and I, we run Dog Friendly KW, which is an Instagram account in the community, and we decided to start that because, well, it was the beginning of the pandemic. Well, semi. It was July of 2020, and she had just got a puppy. And she was just like, well, I can't do puppy class. What can I do with my dog? So she reached out to me and she's like, hey, there's no like dog, like there's no specific dog friendly page or place I can go designated for the KW region, is there? And I'm like, actually, no. Like, I just know from experience. And she said, well, let's start one. And I said, great idea. So that's when Dog Friendly KW was born. And yeah, we just share other pups around the region, exploring Kitchener-Waterloo, when it's not a pandemic, showing like what patios or breweries or hiking trails or other activities, dogs can do with their humans. And it's been so fun to see what everybody is up to in the region. I found dog friendly patios I never knew were dog friendly, which is semi surprising because again I bring my dogs everywhere I can. And yeah, it's just been so great to see this little community bloom. And which actually led us during this time to start a podcast.
Nice.
So yeah, it's been a ride. It's been really, really fun. Right now, due to being in the red zone and being in the middle of winter, we can't share as many dog friendly spots as we would usually throughout the summer months. But now we're just showing like canine enrichment, what can you do inside with your dogs, hiking trails, stuff like that, which has been really, really fun. But yeah, that's in a nutshell, that's dog friendly KW.
Dog Friendly KW sounds like such an incredible resource for all of the pet parents out there. It's nice to just have that one-stop shop for where can I go and what can I do with my dog. So in doing Dog Friendly KW, have you noticed anything that maybe other municipalities have that we don't have here yet that you'd like to see?
That's a very good question. I feel like everywhere you go, there's always different bylaws, we'll say. So I can go into, I can, Kitchener-Waterloo is very dog friendly. Like it's awesome. I'm like shocked how dog friendly it is. It's amazing. But then as an example, if you go down to Godridge, if you go to Godridge, they have a bylaw, which I don't fully understand. It's a very gray area where dogs are not allowed on their patios at all. And it's like, really, like that's strange. Like, why? And they're like, oh, it's a health concern. It's like, well, kind of confused on that. But honestly, like I feel like if anything, like other areas could learn from Kitchener-Waterloo, because especially during like COVID times when like other extra patios were opened up, we had a lot of like those um, parking lot patio pop-ups, and we had, you know, lawn pop-up patios happening. Like I feel like our community did such an amazing job, not only, for the sake of their business, but for the sake of dog owners too, to allow dogs to come in. And uh, of course, if a dog is going to be allowed, then I'll be there. So
Excellent. So, given that you've done a ton of research about all these spots, where are some of your favorite spots in KW and the area to
ooh.
bring your dogs? Can you narrow it down?
So I'm just going to put St. Jacobs as a whole.
Yeah, for sure.
St. Jacobs is adorable in like any time of year rather, but like in the summer, like it's so nice. Like you can literally walk your dog up and down the street, and most of the stores are dog friendly, which is awesome. They actually have stickers of like dogs on their doors saying, yes, you can bring your dog in. If that sticker's not there, then you're not allowed to bring your dog in. So there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Obviously, they have Block 3, which
Mhm.
is a great brewery. Love them. Um, and then down the road, they also have the Village Beer Garden. So that is a beautiful patio in the summer. I love bringing the dogs there. My husband and I will spend literally a whole day or afternoon in St. Jacobs during the summer months, and it's fabulous. So that's like my number one. I should have started from the bottom, but it's fine.
It's a whole day out with the dogs.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. So my I I'm not sure if they're going to do this next year, but the marina in Puslinch, the old marina restaurant, so it is a bit of a drive. It's like 15-20 minutes maybe, but they had over the summer they had a picnic area set up, and it was in the grass, and they allowed dogs. And my husband and I would go there like once a week or once every other week because we loved it so much, because the marina's food is very good. You're like looking out on the water. The dogs can like jump in the water if they want after you're done eating. So that was really, really a really good spot. And I'm fingers crossed they do that again this summer. I really, really hope, because that was fabulous. Um, Another place I used to go all the time was Abe Herb, and I'm so sad. I'm so sad, but they were a really good dog friendly spot. Um, but trying to think, there's so many good spots. Even like Beer Town, Uptown Waterloo. There's Score Pizza, Uptown Waterloo. Both of those are really, really great spots. Prohibition Warehouse, Uptown Waterloo. You could do a whole circuit Uptown Waterloo. There's a lot. Um, those are all like really, really good spots to go with your dog. And of course, yeah, I love Block 3. And if you want to go to Guelph, there's also Fixed Gear. Fixed Gear Brewery is very, very dog friendly, and they are awesome there. So I think I named like
Well,
quite a few.
and if folks want to find more places, they can just go to Dog Friendly KW and see the
Follow
whole
us.
of them.
Yeah, follow us. We're creating guides for people. So yeah, if you ever want to have like a day out with your dog, then yeah, come have a look, and hopefully you'll find some inspiration.
And where can people find Dog Friendly KW online?
So we are primarily on Instagram, so at Dog Friendly KW, all one word. We also have a Facebook page, so again, Dog Friendly KW. If you want to listen to our podcast, we just launched on Spotify, and we are called Dog Friendly KW Podcast. So feel free to search that up. We just recorded our 10th episode. And those are aired every Saturday at 11 a.m. on Midtown Radio KW. This is a lot of information, but a lot of stuff. But yes, after they're aired, they are uploaded into Spotify. So if you miss it live at 11 on Saturdays on Midtown Radio, it'll be on Spotify after the fact.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll finish off cycling back to Willa and Aladar, and I'll ask some quick top of the head questions for you. So,
okay,
you ready?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, cat or dog?
Dog.
And this next question, I think I'm probably going to know the answer to.
Okay.
Favorite breed?
Partial to my Italian Greyhounds.
What is your dog's favorite treat?
Finnegan's Deli, 100%. Local, women-owned boss lady. She is fantastic. All of the treats are just 1 or 2 ingredient. Highly recommend. My dogs eat raw. They love their treats. They are fantastic. Highly recommend.
I can 100% stand behind that. I got some for my dogs for Christmas, and they're obsessed.
Did you get the little like pizzle shaped like candy canes and the little reindeer? They were so cute.
I got the Tripemas tree.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, that was a hit over here too. Yeah, yeah, she does really great stuff.
All right, next question. Are your dogs full of beans, full of dreams, or full of something entirely different?
Okay. Willa is full of, I was going to say, she's full of beans and dreams, because she always wants to be doing something new. She's such a confident dog, I can throw her into any situation and she's like, okay, what are we doing? So she's a kind of a mix of both. Aladar is, she's special. She's just full of love. This dog would literally just lay on somebody's lap all day and be happy as a skunk. She's just, this is her.
All right. If your pets were to be played by human actors in a movie, who would play them?
Ooh. This is funny because I've been watching a lot of The Office recently during these times. And I used to say that Willa was Michael Scott. and Aladar is like a mix of like Toby and Phyllis.
Oh.
So if that resonates with anyone, let me think. Is that good enough? Is that close
That's
enough?
good. That's
Okay,
pretty good.
I feel like yeah, she's a mix of the two. Oh, it's
Oh,
okay.
poor Aladar.
She is the love of my life though. She like look at this, like she's just as happy as can be, just doing nothing.
All right. So our last rapid fire question. If money were no object and all the restrictions were lifted, we could do whatever, go wherever, what would you do? What's one thing that you would do to spoil your dogs?
Ooh, very, very good question. Other than hmm, I know what I would do. I would hop in the car and we would go camping because my dogs, they may not look at it like it, but they love camping. They love hiking, they love camping. And I would go out east and we would take them to Cape Breton and we would camp like the whole way. We would go run. They love running, obviously. We would run up and down beaches. They would get all the food. We'd pack all the Finnegan's Deli for them. And we would just have a great time just exploring because honestly, like these dogs, they just love being with people. That's what they love, and again, you can literally throw them into any situation. They're like, okay, this is fun. So yeah, we would definitely do a big camping trip.
Excellent. Mackenzie, it's been such a pleasure talking to you. So to wrap up, what is the best way that this community can support you, both with Little Deer's Apparel and with Dog Friendly KW?
Just honestly, just following us on Instagram would be really great, sharing and liking our posts because we, again, Dog Friendly KW, we just love to support dog friendly businesses around the area. So just yeah, being commenting, liking our stuff, letting us know we're doing a good job. Listen to our podcast would be awesome just because we're so new. Getting feedback and things like that would be great. And then for Little Deer's Apparel, same thing. If you could just again, I don't have an Etsy or a website just yet, just because this is so fresh, like 2 weeks in. But if you follow, you can keep tabs on what we're doing. Going to be making a website come spring. So if you're interested to see what kind of fabrics or upcycled items I'm creating, it'll be all on Instagram. I'll share, what I'm up to on that. And yeah, if you ever want to see our adventures, you can always just follow us on Little Deers to see what we're up to. We're always doing something. So, and right now it's always in the area, so because we can't go anywhere. But yeah, we if you could just support us on social media, that would mean the world to us.
That is amazing. Well, thank you so much. It has been such a pleasure talking to you, and also seeing Willa and Aladar.
Yeah. They're funny. Yeah, it's been so great talking to you too, Laura. Thank you so much for having me.
No worries. So thanks for listening. This is Laura from Laura Wamwell Photography and Mackenzie Drinkwater from Little Deer's Apparel and Dog Friendly KW. And we both hope that you and your pets have an awesome day. Bye.
Bye.